Hi, boys and girls. In this science lesson, we are going to be talking about forms of energy. So, I want you to think of a big parade that you might have been to. A marching band walks by. Have you ever felt the pounding of drums as drummers walk by? The pounding is caused by energy. It travels from the drum to you. Energy does work or causes a change. Energy comes in many different forms. Each form of energy can change into other forms. We will learn about three forms of energy: heat energy, light energy, and sound energy. So the first one is, let's look at heat energy. Okay, so this flame is showing us heat, an example of heat energy. And then here's an example of light energy from a lamp. And lastly is sound energy, like the horn blowing or even my voice talking to you. That's a form of sound energy. Sound is one kind of energy. Vibrating objects produce sound. An object is vibrating when it moves back and forth quickly. The vibrations move from the drum to your ear. That's how we hear it. Some sounds are loud. A siren is loud. Other sounds are soft. Rubbing your hands together makes a soft sound. Some sounds have high pitches like a flute. Others have low pitches like a drum. And you can even practice some of those pitches with your voice. You could have a very high voice or a very low voice. So you might want to try that at home. Try to make your voice very high or try to make your voice very low. And you can kind of hear the difference in your voice. You can also feel the vibrations of sound when you talk. If you just take two fingers very gently and put it on your throat, when you talk, you can feel it vibrate. That's because your voice is producing sound energy. So let's click on some of these energies to select what type of sound each thing makes. So a rocket, would a rocket be a loud sound or a soft sound? I think a rocket would probably be a very loud sound. What about a tuba? A tuba is an instrument that people play in bands. Would that be a low pitch sound or a high pitch sound? Now, this is something you might not know, but a tuba has a very low pitch sound. Okay, a whisper. Would that be a loud sound or a soft sound? You're whispering correctly. That would be a soft sound. And last, a whistle. Does a whistle have a low pitch or a high pitch? A whistle has a very high pitch. Next, let's learn about light energy. Light is also a kind of energy. Some light energy comes from the sun. Light energy also comes from a lamp or a candle. You can see objects because the light energy bounces off the objects. Think of when it's dark. Can you see anything? No, that's because we need light energy to see. And it's actually very hard for us to see complete darkness because there's so many forms of light energy around us. But if you've ever been maybe in your closet where there's no windows and you turn off the light, that is complete darkness. You can't see anything because there's no light sources. But even when we're walking outside and the sun's not shining at night, we still have light from the moon. We also have light from the stars. And in our homes, we have light from things like the TV or lamps or things around us. Even a candle or a fire causes some light energy, but also some heat energy too. So there's light energy all around us. So this is showing we click the light on and we can see the objects around us because the light is reflecting off those objects. If the light is off, it's complete darkness. If we have no light energy, we can't see anything. Discover science, light bulbs. You can flick a switch to turn on a light. This was not always true. People used to use candles a long time ago. They also used lamps that burned oil to make light. In 1879, Thomas Edison invented the first useful light bulb. Other people tried, but their light bulbs didn't work as well. Edison's light bulb gave off a lot of light. The light bulb changed people's lives. Doing things at night or in dark places got much easier. Do you use light bulbs at home every day? Many people depend on this energy after dark to light their homes. And I just thought of something. We use these light bulbs in our homes, but we also use them in our cars. So if we didn't have those light bulbs in our cars and our headlights and our taillights, driving at night would be very dangerous because we couldn't see as well. Or if you think of street lights, if we didn't have street lights while we were outside, especially at night, driving or even walking, it would be very dangerous because it would be pretty dark. There is the moon that is a light source. Well, the sun reflects it into light source. And there's stars that create light too. But if we didn't have those light bulbs that Thomas Edison invented, then it would be very dangerous for us to be outdoors at night. It would also stink when we were in our homes and we didn't have light, or even at school, because not all of our classrooms have windows. So the light bulb is a very useful invention that produces light energy for us. Last, let's talk about heat energy. Heat is a form of energy. You can feel heat energy. It feels warm. The sun produces heat energy. So does a fire or a heater. We can measure heat with temperature. Thermometers help us measure temperature. So heat energy is another very important form of energy, because if we didn't have heat energy, then we would freeze to death. So we definitely need this form of energy. All right. So when it is hot outside, you can see on the thermometer, it's almost up to the top of that thermometer, because the thermometer measures how much heat energy is in the air. So when it's hot outside, we can see that the thermometer looks very full. And when it's hot outside, those are times where we need to wear shorts and a tank top and sandals. Especially in our Texas summer heat, we definitely want to wear very cool clothing. When it's nice outside, that's kind of like the weather we've been experiencing recently. We can wear, maybe jeans and a t-shirt. And if you look, the thermometer only looks about half full right now. There's not as much heat energy in the air. So when it's nice outside, that's how we would dress. And then the temperatures would be a little bit cooler. And then when it's cold, of course, the thermometer is not going to be very full at all, because there's not a lot of heat energy in the air. And if you look, just like in the winter time here, we need to wear jackets and long pants and closed shoes, so that way we are nice and warm, because there's not a lot of heat energy in the air. Everyday objects use energy. Drag the words to the matching images below. Okay, so let's look. This hot dog, I see steam rising off that hot dog. So would that be an example of light energy, sound energy, or heat energy? Well, I see that steam, and I know that I like my hot dogs nice and hot, so I think that's an example of heat energy. What about this lamp? Is that an example of light energy or sound energy? Well, we've discussed we use lamps as a form of light energy. And then last, that trumpet is going to be making some sound, so that is a form of sound energy. Some people use the words energy and power as if they mean the same thing. They are not the same. Energy is the ability to do work. Power is how fast work is done. For example, two people race up a flight of stairs. Both people use the same amount of energy to do the same amount of work. Whoever gets to the top of the stairs first produces the most power. So we can see in this, pot of boiling water, low amount of power. There's not a lot of bubbles. It's not boiling. Medium, we can see that it's a little bit more. It's definitely boiling a little bit more. And then high energy, we can see lots of bubbles. It's probably very hot water. Right, and this is where we are going to stop. And actually, you're going to do this little energy hunt at your home and answer it in the form of a discussion. So energy hunt, you are going to work around your house, and you're going to find different forms of energy, different examples. So I want you to find an example of heat energy, an example of light energy, and an example of sound energy. And I want you to record those things because in the next discussion, you're going to tell us those examples of heat energy, sound energy, and light energy that you found at your house. I hope that this little guided practice taught you some more things about energy, and that's what we're going to continue to learn about in this unit. So please let your teacher know if you have any questions or need any help, and make sure you go on that energy hunt and look for examples of heat energy, light energy, and sound energy. We'll see you back next time, boys and girls.